I mean, most of you probably already know me, but my name is Sandra Cardin, and I oversee the edible education program here at American School of Dubai. And I'm probably most commonly known as Miss Cardin in the Garden. This is my name on campus. I'm kind of a big deal in K1 and K2. And I'm here to not only share some aspects of our program, but also to gather some feedback from you. So, whoops, there we are. Oh, whoops. In the developed world, prisoners receive 2 hours of outdoor time a day. And for inmates, this is a highlight of their day, although they don't look very excited in this picture. Outdoor time is taken away only as a punishment. There we go. And most students all over the world and at our school receive about an hour to an hour and a half of recess time a day. And this is often combined with their lunch break. Some schools even have less than 30 minutes depending on the grade level. I don't know about your children, but for mine, recess and lunch is a highlight of her day.
Yes.
All of you are like, yep, Oh, sorry. I don't know what I'm doing wrong here. Because of innovation and now COVID, our schools are looking more and more like this: kids learning in front of screens. Companies spend millions of dollars marketing technology that'll make our kids more engaged. Never in the history of humans have we spent so little time outside. Having this little time outdoors has several health-related consequences. Over 90% of UAE residents are vitamin D deficient. Now, I don't know about you, but I didn't know much about vitamin D, but it's crucial for bone development and teeth development, and primarily for your immune system and your mental health. There's even growing scientific field called ecotherapy, which I thought was totally made up until I did research on it. And basically they show a strong connection between time spent in nature and reduced stress, anxiety, and depression. And this disconnection from nature has a very real effect on the environment, because it's almost impossible to inspire the youth to protect something that they have no experience with. Oh, wrong way. Wow, this is so weird. It's going the wrong way. Sorry, guys. Why my fingers are trying to, it's lagging. So, maybe I need to escape and present a different way. Yeah, let me try again. Sorry. Okay. Okay. So these are basically all the problems that our edible education program can solve. And in addition, they provide authentic and tactile learning experiences. We are so fortunate to have 4 student gardens at our school, 4 beehives, and a kitchen classroom. Edible education, like a lot of people ask me what this word means. It's basically when a student participates in planting, harvesting, and preparing fresh food as part of their day. It's this radical idea in today's learning landscape. And the fact that there's a full-time position at this school for me shows how innovative ASD is. So you're probably wondering, or maybe you're not, but what does learning in different subject areas look like in these spaces? Come on, there we go. In our garden, I need to know how much soil is needed to fill my planters and how much compost I'm producing every year. So I use grade 5 math students to find the answer. They figure out the volume, and in the compost, that's kind of an elevated math problem, but what they do is compost reduces by 90%, and that's how I know how much compost I produced per bin. So students take the measurements and then they tell me by the volume how much compost each bin would produce. In Spanish class, we organize a Master Chef unit every year in the middle school. Student groups not only had to research, prepare, and plate an authentic dish, they also had to present it to a panel of discriminating judges. Judges like Dr. Omaima and principals, And we try to find a lot of parents that can come in and help and speak Spanish the entire time to them. In high school statistics, they were asked if saved seeds were better than manufactured seeds. In order to determine this, first they had to learn about planting. They were introduced to this little thing on the right called a planting grid. Each square got at least 2 roca seeds. And for almost all of those seniors pictured there, it was the first time they'd ever planted a seed in their entire lives. Once the plants grew, they used a randomizer to determine which to harvest. After measuring the length of each leaf and the number of the leaves on a plant, they could tell me statistically which seed was more productive. And the answer are my saved seeds. The science, for example, this is a grade 2 class. They learn about one of the most important pollinators in the world, which are bees. They read about bees in their language art lessons, and they study pollinators' role in our food landscape. They also learn about how seeds are made and dispersed into nature. But the showstopper of the event is certainly their visits to the beehives. It provides some of our littlest learners a window into this fascinating and complex world of the hive, the queen, and her court. Grade 6 students take on the role of a carbon atom. With the roll of the dice, the hypothetical becomes real. Students on their carbon quest might end up in a compost pile with dead plants, or the manure pile as fertilizer, or in a planter bed as a live plant. In social studies, students learn how the ancient Egyptians managed to move enormously heavy stones, or in our case, the superintendent, to build pyramids using the roller sledge. They also learned how exhausting it is to mill 1 cup of flour for bread. In fact, they don't even make 1 cup by the end of the class. High school global issues and action class students learn about the benefits of a circular economy, especially with food production. They learn and reflect on the factors and considerations that influence personal food choices and consider the impacts of food choices on personal well-being, the environment, and other people who grow our food. A school garden even deepens language learning. When children physically learn descriptive words such as smooth or fresh or rough, word comprehension is immediate and long-lasting. This is what promotes emergent literacy and a love of language. Teaching about health and nutrition is perhaps more effective if students can actually cook simple recipes. And a little healthy dose of peer pressure allows students to sample foods that they normally would never touch, like a kale salad. These nutrition lessons are the time of year when most of our parents are engaged with this learning. Usually in early February, I have nearly 300 parent volunteers coming to cook with students using produce from our very garden. Even art is integrated into these lessons. Elementary students drew henna designs inspired by nature, and the rocks were later assembled into mandalas in landscaped beds. High school design classes were challenged to turn this unattractive bed into something more interactive and sustainable in this harsh climate. Ideas were drafted and the best design was voted on. And the only criteria I gave them was that 1, I was not going to give them any money, because I find personally that students are much more creative if they have to create something from nothing. The second criteria was that I had to have the majority of the plants be drought resistant. And the last criteria was that I wanted it to be interactive, because personally I got so tired of all these landscape beds that kids couldn't enter. School gardens allow for this plant to plate concept. Our students grow food for the cafeteria salad bar, and the cafeteria then in return gives us food waste, which we compost and add as fertilizer back to the garden. Some of our produce even ends up in student catering opportunities, such as the state of a school event, divisional staff meetings, board meetings, and the new parent orientations for K1. Let's not forget the advantage that an edible education program has for adults. Just being outside in nature lowers our cortisol levels, our blood pressure, and it boosts our immune system. Maybe this is why so many groups have their meetings and celebrations in this outdoor space. I also have teams book the kitchen classroom for team building activities that end with delicious treats. The edible education program has benefited tremendously from parents. Firstly, they help to support the many educational lessons out there. Secondly, with the help of our PTSA grants program, our program has been the gracious recipient of several grants, which include the development of the upstairs grade 2 garden space and the outdoor kitchen beautification. Lastly, thanks to the combined efforts of parents, faculty, and school, we collect over 200 kilos of food waste a day. Our edible education program is honored to have been awarded national and international recognition. 3 years ago, we won the ZAID Sustainability Prize that funded the Bee Garden. And last year, we won the Ambassador of the Environment Award at the JESS Education Award ceremony. This award recognizes the institutions that demonstrate positive impact within their school or community by increasing environmental awareness. We also receive visitors from other schools who are looking to be inspired by our program. We have also been blessed to receive a visit from the Food Security Minister of the UAE. But for me, personally, the highest honor is when we create passionate and empowered students that can now grow and cook their own food, and they understand food in the global context. Like Hallie's Instagram page, where student chefs at ASD can showcase their talent. And Nico in grade 3, who made a seed library to share the delight of growing with the community. Jaya, who was inspired to plant a garden in her backyard. And Yasmin, who, although she graduated from ASD last year, is currently an intern at Talibat doing research on sustainable food packaging. For me, these are the highest honors that this program can reveal. So our program enriches student learning, fosters teacher growth, and builds community. Thanks so much for listening. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, we'll use the remaining minutes of this presentation for that. And I just wanted to point out that all of the learning is kind of cataloged in this Instagram account called ASD Sustainable Garden. And then students help me with the recipes part. So I'm gonna escape out. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. Okay. Does anyone have any questions, first of all? And if you do, just unmute and ask, and then I'll kind of ask for some feedback.
Am I unmuted? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead, Shelley.
Yes, it wasn't muted. It was ASD Sustainable Garden. I didn't know it was. I will look that up. I'm new to Instagram. I'm not new, but I don't use it very much. I'm trying to use it more, so I'm going to attempt that today. And I didn't know, how many gardens did you say there were?
We have 4. So we have an upstairs garden in the middle school science department. We have that maze garden, which the students created. We have the large sustainable garden where most of the produce comes from. And then we have an upstairs grade 2 garden, which grade 2 students plant.
Okay, I had no idea about any of that. It's changed. My kids went through elementary, so I'm not in that area anymore. That's amazing though.
Yeah, I'm trying to take over the whole campus.
Great, I think it's fantastic. And what about the bees? Where are they kept?
The bees are kind of in between gate 1 and the maintenance office. So they're kind of tucked in that corner there. And then they're kind of chained in to this chain link fence.
And
go ahead.
And how do the children, other than just looking at them, do they help, take care of them, or how are they?
I mean, in a normal year, actually Lawrence recommended I do a slide just on how COVID has affected the program, but it looked so sad to me, I removed it. But normally in a normal year, grade 2 students do hive inspections with me. So every 2 weeks we do hive inspections where we check the health of the hive. We look at the queen, make sure she's there, remove any queen cells. So what I've been doing is kind of live from the hive videos, and then we share them with the kids.
Very cool.
Yeah. Susanna, do you have a question? Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, sweetie. How are you?
Good, thank you. Thank you for this. I love the program, and I would love Sita, my fifth grader, to start doing it. But my question is, when do you think in the lessons? I remember seeing all the students in the elementary cafeteria cooking in the past years, but she was doing dancing, so she couldn't do it. When is gonna be on again?
So for the after school program, right now, elementary and middle school kids are in the garden on Sundays after school. Um,
Okay.
and we do some cooking there, although cooking has really changed with KHD regulations. So instead
Uh-huh.
of every kid getting a job and then we put it together and then we sample it,
Yeah.
every kid has like a kit and they make it only for themselves. So that's how
Mm-hmm.
kind of cooking is looking in the garden. And
Mm-hmm.
then I think the one you're talking about is Food Revolution. And that's an
Mm-hmm.
ASRP that is for only middle school students and actually
Okay.
up to high, up to grade 10. And we're doing that one online. So I didn't think it was going to work, but it is super popular and the kids love it. And so what happens is we have a Google Classroom and then the kids log in with that code and then I teach it live. So I either do it at school and lately I've been doing it just from home.
Oh,
So
that's
I
great.
send them the recipe beforehand. They have all the ingredients and then we cook it together.
Oh my God. And so can I ask you, so do I find these activities in campus recreation?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
definitely. Campus Rec has all of those. But the gardening is on campus, it's in person. So some people
Okay.
are a little upset by that. I tried to do gardening online, and I mean, the kids were so sweet and they said they loved it, but I just thought it was ridiculous to be teaching how to plant online, but they liked it.
Wait, okay, thank you. So I can find all these in campus recreation,
Yes.
ask for the information and then just sign up
Yeah.
if I can, if we can. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Sandra.
Yeah. Luna, do you want to go next?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm trying to turn on my, oh, there I am. Okay.
There
Hi.
you go.
I
Hi.
just wanted to pop on here to give you a shout out for Food Revolution so other parents who are interested in it can hear firsthand how it is literally the best activity we've ever done since K1. Like my daughter's in 6th grade and she's been doing Food Revolution from the beginning of this year. And it's such a great family activity. Like, even though we cook at home and stuff, this has just changed her confidence levels. She cooks for our friends now. Cardin always has the best recipes and the best voice. You don't sing enough, though.
Do you want me to sing during this meeting?
You should. Sorry about my face. I just woke up. So yeah, I wanted to tell the other moms that the clubs that you provide are just out of this world. I wish we were in person in school, but I'd miss out if it was in person. So I'm actually happy that they're online.
Yeah,
So
you're
thank
not
you
the
for
first
them.
parent to say that. Yeah, I received an email from, I also do community cooking days with the ASD families.
Yeah.
And they were saying, it's been the highlight of the year to be able to do this with their kids. Like, it's like
Yeah,
they're in the classroom with them.
exactly. So thank you for that and keep up the amazing work.
You're welcome. Well, we have one more before the end of this term. So we're making granola bars this Wednesday.
Okay. Can't wait.
Wonderful. Let's see who else is. I thought there was another person who raised their hand. No? Does anyone else have any questions or comments or? No? I'm just looking in the chat here. Oh, okay. Okay, well, wonderful. If you do have any questions or comments on how to improve the program, there are a couple ways, obviously, that parents can get involved. And the first one is actually participating in the volunteer or opportunities. This year, of course, that's limited because no parents can be on campus. But we are starting a compost collection, which will start, it was supposed to start this Sunday, but it looks like it's not going to happen. obviously, because we're not on campus. And I don't know about next Sunday, but eventually we'll be back on campus. And on Sunday mornings, we will collect compost from parents. The other way, as things open up as well, is I normally do community beehive inspections, and I usually send that out either in the Falcon Flyer, or the communications team usually sends that out. So that's a way that you can keep informed with me. And of course, you can follow the ASD Instagram account, and you can see the gorgeous pictures that Tina takes. I love posting her work, and I'm really grateful for her to take those pictures. But anyway, you can always send me an email. It's scarden@asd or asddubai.org. And yeah, thank you for coming.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah. And again, any questions at all, send them to me. Or if you have a great recipe that you tried, I love receiving emails like that.
Thank you. I still use your, excuse me, I still use your salad dressing recipe. I volunteered for, was it grade 5? The kids make salad.
Yeah.
I still use my favorite recipe. It's the only one I know by heart. and my son, Cohen, now eats lettuce. So he didn't before that day. So it's good.
Peer pressure. I'm telling you, it's great.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye, Shelley.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.